Well, hello, everybody. I hope you are having a wonderful Sunday. If you know it, say it with me. Got my coffee, got my Bible. Of course, I have you. And what a wonderful, wonderful Sunday we had today. And as these Daily Hope videos are kind of turning into on Sundays, I just call it the Sunday Afterparty, where I just want to take a moment about what we're doing right now. And so if you are not part of the RLC community, we began a new series today called Asking for a Friend. And what it is it's questions that people have asked or would like to hear a message about that you may not necessarily feel comfortable asking for yourself. And so you always go, hey, I'm asking for somebody else. Not me, of course, someone else, but you really want to know, right? And that's what we wanted to do. And so we put out this survey a little while ago asking the question, if you could hear a message on anything, what would you want to hear? And so today was week 1. And it made me think of this verse I was reading earlier this morning. I didn't put it in the message, but I was thinking about it. And it says this in James 3, verse 13, out of the Good News translation. It says, "Are there any of you who are wise and understanding? You are to prove it by your good life." Prove it. So, is there any of you wise and understanding? Well, prove it. And that's one of the things that this series is all about, is things that we want to be wise about. We want to understand. Well, let's learn about it, you know? And as a pastor, it's always so important to me that I am answering questions that you're asking, you know? And so I'm always listening for these different things. And so these series, more than ever, I really look forward to, even though it takes a lot more out of me to prepare for these, but I'm glad to do it because it really gives us a chance to dig down deep, because we don't need to be afraid of our Bibles. We don't need to be intimidated by tough questions. As a matter of fact, deep, rich faith comes out of a season of questioning, a season of probing into things, a season of really trying to work things out. And while faith does eventually come down to faith, there's a whole lot of answers you can get to before you have to make that decision. And what I mean by that is, so many times I feel like in the world we live in today, that Christianity is really it's in an unfair fight, because in the school world now, you hear all of these other ideas for how life began, and all these other ideas of what all this is about and all this kind of stuff. And I've read the textbooks. I got kids who are in 6th and 7th grade, and I've read some of the different textbooks, and I've even read how some of these just very subtly kind of put down the Christian worldview and put all these other things. But then you can't have a fair hearing in public schools. We can't talk about our faith. So many times our children, and in colleges, they get all this exposure to secular stuff, but we can't talk about God at all. And then when you become an adult, you know, you've got all this other stuff, but then as a Christian, you're expected to be able to have a conversation. And so what I wanted to do in this series is go, okay, what are some things that need a hearing? What are some things that you never had a chance to learn? And as a pastor, there's an infinite amount of topics and an infinite amount of things I want to teach you. But what is the hot buttons? And so I hope today, in the first part of this series, you got to hear from my heart on a very important hot topic, hot button topic to me. And I would always love, if you have any questions or anything like that, please always feel free to put it in the comments below, or you can send me a Facebook message. I'm not always really good at getting right back with you, but I do try. And I don't always have the answers. And I will tell you, I don't know. Let's find out together, because I love asking these questions. I've not always told everybody this, but when I was younger, for a little while, I was kind of a functioning agnostic when it comes to faith, borderline atheist, as in, like, I just didn't know. I didn't know. And it was because I refused to believe God just because I was raised that way. I just got to this place in my life. I refused to believe God just because my dad told me, or because my mom told me, or because I grew up in church. I wanted to have my own faith for myself. So I did a long study about God, about science, creation, these different things, about the origins of the Bible and all this kind of stuff, until I came to a place where I had a solid belief in God that wasn't based on my family's faith, but based on my understanding and experience with God. And that's my hope for you, is I want you to have a faith that is built on God and built on your relationship with Him. So I love these kind of series. I love it so much. I hope you're enjoying it. If you have any questions about it, you let me know. And I want you to know something. God loves you more than you can imagine. He's for you more than you realize. You're probably doing better than you realize. You know why? You got up one more day. God has not changed his mind about you. I love you so much. It's an honor to be your pastor, and I can't wait to see you here tomorrow for Daily Hope.